I am conducting for today's session. I will not be able to compete with my teacher because she is my teacher. So whatever the knowledge I am having or whatever the thing I can communicate, I'll be doing it sincerely and honestly. Only one request, that is, during the session, please mute your mic. In between, if there is any problem, it will be disturbance for the person who is talking. Okay. Any doubts are there, we can clear at the end of the session. Am I clear to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Now, I will start with a small story wherein how the education starts. Once upon a time, there lived in a village a person named Mr. John. He was known for his kind heart and vast knowledge, which he always earned to share with others. However, the village lacked proper means of education, leaving many children deprived of the opportunity to learn and grow. Every day, Mr. John would eagerly await the arrival of his young students. With a passion and dedication, he would explain various concepts of maths, science, literature, and history, vagara, vagara, extra. The children listened attentively, their eyes shining with enthusiasm as they absorbed every word. However, Mr. John knew that education was not just limited to books and academics. He believed that the character building and life skills were equally crucial. He taught his students about the importance of kindness, honesty, and respect for others. Through engaging activities and storytelling, he instilled valuable moral values in the young minds of the children. As months passed, the villagers began to witness a transformation. The children who once roamed aimlessly now possessed a thirst for knowledge and a desire to make a difference. They started helping their families in various tasks, sharing their newfound wisdom with their loved ones. The village school became a hub of knowledge and happiness, attracting talented teachers from neighboring towns. The children thrived, excelling in their studies and developing their unique talents and interest. Years later, the once illiterate village witnessed a remarkable transformation. Its inhabitants became doctors, engineers, artists, entrepreneurs, all thanks to the power of education instilled by Mr. John. Imparting education became a legacy in the village, with every generation striving to educate themselves and others. The village proposed, and its success was attributed to the wise old man who believed that knowledge has the power to change lives. Also, Mr. Johnson School under the tree became a legend, reminding people of immense impact that education combined with passion and dedication can have individuals and communities. I hope you understood this one. ACT Academy, which gives knowledge to different people of faculties, individuals from different subjects, different places, will all will get shined, and they will become one day a legend and a important persons. That's what I wanted to tell. The ACT Academy giving lots of knowledge empowered to the people who can grow in their life. So with this story, I will start my session. I hope you understood the story. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Where is gone? Let me try again. Every time some problem comes together, 1 minute I will go. Why the screen is not coming? Hello? Anybody can help? Can you hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Why the screen is not coming? Share the screen. My link has got disconnected.
Did you get the link
Yes,
now,
yes, ma'am.
Soudamini? Could you connect
Yeah,
again?
just 1 minute.
Wi-Fi work can come together. I get in Wi-Fi common.
Can you see the, hello? Can you see these slides?
No,
ma'am.
no, we can't see.
My God.
Soudamini, send your PPT slide to the academy, no?
Why it is not coming?
Ma'am, did you click on the share screen option, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay,
But it
then why
says
is not?
stop sharing, hide and all it is coming. Meet Google Com is sharing a window.
On the window, did you see your PPT, Soudamini? Is your PowerPoint window open?
Now this is there, share. Then there are 3 tabs now, Chrome tab, window, entire screen. Now where I should go? Entire screen,
No. Click window.
window. Okay.
Yeah. And then you will see your PowerPoint down, just below. On that same screen only you will see your presentation and click on that.
Have you opened the window of
Is your PPT open? Is your PowerPoint open?
Yes.
Now when you click the window, you will get your PowerPoint.
Can you see? Is it visible?
No, could you trace the PowerPoint Windows?
1 minute.
Can you trace the PowerPoint?
Can you trace the PowerPoint in your window?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you clicked it.
Yes.
Now it should open.
Now it should open, Soudamini.
The PowerPoint has come on my screen.
That means it is open.
But is it visible?
I'm just trying to see it where it is.
Share screen.
Did you put share screen below?
Yes.
You have pressed share screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Then it should come. How do I see hers? Yes, yeah. Now you can see it.
Now we can see, ma'am.
Now we can see it. Yeah,
Oh my
make it.
God.
Make it full screen now, and we can see it. Make it full screen.
It's a full screen only, ma'am.
Yeah. We can see it very well.
Okay. Now this my topic is today. First one, that the main topic is UGC guidelines for the institutional development plan. And today my topic is where I'm going to take that is developing an institutional development plan. How to develop an institutional development plan. Now, ma'am has said it all about the NEP, how NEP has given more weightage for this developmental plan and all, and how an institution can take. All that will be explained by me now. Now, what are the things where I'm going to point out or explain? That is, there are about 7-8 points are there. The first one is 5 important concepts on institutional development plan. Then what is the concept of institutional development? What you mean by that? And aims of institutional planning. Then the fourth one, where I'm going to discuss, that is content of the development plan. And the fifth one is planning and writing of an institutional plan. And the sixth, where I'm going to discuss, that is steps of institutional development plan. Then sample. I'll be showing one sample outline for an institute, how we can go for that, what are the things is required, and the conclusion. Okay, so there are about 7 main things that we are going to discuss now with the limited speed time. Now, what are the 5 important concepts?
Ma'am, excuse me, kindly use the slideshow, ma'am.
Slideshow, where it is?
The big one.
Where for the slideshow?
See, below only it will be there. Slideshow will be there below only.
Next to that percentage symbol, ma'am.
See below, say Soudamini on the right side below.
Yeah.
You have the
Now
percentage
it has
of
come big.
yeah, yeah.
Is it okay?
See, I can see it. I don't know about others. I can see what.
5 important concepts. Now, big screen, my laptop has become a big one.
Okay.
Participants are not able to view it, ma'am.
Soudamini, did you click on that one? Soudamini,
Yes,
next to
ma'am.
percentage. Next to percentage. The U-shaped thing, you know. Click on that, no.
That only, ma'am. Now how to
I
go
am-
back?
For me, I am getting how to go back. But no, don't go back. You're right where you are. You just have to click on that big thing.
Now it will go on.
But the only way you can do is go to escape, go back to your PowerPoint and go for the full slideshow. Put escape, go back to PowerPoint.
Slideshow, ma'am. There only I clicked. Now that has come big one.
No, for me, I can see Soudamini.
Now
I
everybody
think
can
it's visible, ma'am. I think it's visible. We can also see.
everybody can see, no?
Yes,
No
ma'am.
issues, ma'am. We'll try to adjust,
No
ma'am. Thank
issues.
you.
Mm.
Now there is no, my laptop, the full screen has come with that only. Can I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, continue. Soudamini, continue. I can see Soudamini.
Okay. Now these 5 important concepts where we are going to discuss that one, that is institutions. First the institution, then the development, then the institutional development, projects and technical assistance. Now institution means are the fundamental to the development process. Without institution, we cannot go for any development. Development is seen as a political process. That is, institutional development is seen as an exploratory rather than perspective. Projects are seen as mechanistic. Technical assistance is moving towards a more exploratory and participatory mode of project formulation and implementation. So these are the 5 which are important concepts in the institutional development. Now, institutional development seeks to offer a flavor of the considerable and rapidly growing literature on the subject of institutional development in order to establish some parameters to the concept. Now, these parameters are captured by the scope of the process, modes of interventions, and factors for success distilled from an original literature search. Presents the resulting conceptual framework. Now, what is the concept of institutional development? What we talk about, that is, institutional development is used to describe the work that focuses on the context in which the NGOs operate. It refers to exerting an influence on norms, values, and patterns of behavior in social, political, economic structures in society. The concept of institutional development is rooted in the understanding that well-functioning institutions are crucial for economic, social, and political progress, such as. Now, ma'am has explained about the academic side of that one. Everything that is also very important. Along with the academic, we require these 8 concepts. Now, they are capacity building, governance and rule of the law, policy development and implementation, organizational culture, infrastructure and resources, social capital, inclusivity and equity, and sustainability. Now, these are the 8 concepts where we have to pay attention, more concentration for an institutional development. Now, aim of that institutional planning, that is, main purpose of institutional planning is to improve the institutional program and its practices. Meaning, why we had to go for an institutional development plan? What is the purpose of that one? Nothing but for the improvement of the institution, for the development of the institution in all respects, in the institutional programs and their practices. It is based on the principle of optimum utilization of the resources available in the institution and community. What is there in that institution? How the institution is there and what is there in that institution, all these matters has to be used in the optimum level, and that will provide equal opportunities to all the people to get education. With that one, it is not only for one group of people or one sector of the people, it has to be developed and it has to be made useful, utilized it for the optimum level to give education to all the people of that place. Example of institutional development. Institutional development means those public or private facilities having a primary public serving function, including but not limited. It is not only limited to government libraries, activity centers, schools, healthcare facilities, educational and religious training centers, and water-oriented, everywhere, all that one has to be taken. That means the employee development plan of that institution, how to develop, and examples to be given, and that makes for the growth of the space of that institution, including building leadership skills, nurturing self-management abilities, improving critical thinking approaches, common employee development plan. Examples include general soft skills, training, exposure to leadership roles, and succession planning. Let us see now what is included in the development plan. Ma'am, somewhere I said it, that one, that is the long-term and short-term goals. We have to have a short-term goals and which leads for the long-term goals. And how to reach to that one, that is a progress metric, a timeline with the milestone, and a schedule for evaluating progress. Now, all these things, all these 5 steps has to be taken very systematically with proper planning. Then only we can get a successful development plan. Now, what is the importance of institutional development planning? For everything, without planning, we cannot success in our life. In every walk of life, in every scenario, in every circumstances, planning is very, very important. It's a vital concept. It is considered to be the single greatest tool for the social individual development which leads towards achieving social justice and equity in society. Education is mission, and its success depends upon the involvement of all stakeholders. Not only for the teachers, not only for the students, all the stakeholders who are involved into that, it will be affecting that one. It is their success. The mandate of NEP for holistic education is the need of the hour, present. We said it that after 35 years, there is a change in our education system, NEP 2020. So, an important outcome of the institutional planning is the establishment of a better rapport with the community. Very important, that one. The community has to be involved into that institutional development planning. It aims at institutional improvement as well as its development. It forms the basis of the district plan for educational development and improvement. It is continuously developing. We are not, once it is started, it is not going to stop in there. It is a continuous process. The purpose of institutional development is to establish and improve the institutional structural unit as its capabilities, as well as the impact and effectiveness of organizations. The institutional development plan of NEP 2020, meaning education management, that is the very important. Education management includes everything. The institutional plan is called the development program of the education institution. This is primarily based on the needs and requirements of educational institutions. That is the basic thing which is required. And resources considerations are important when institutional members are involved in the institutional planning. Resources. What are the resources? All that one which is required. Manpower, finance, ambience, everything is included into that. Now, what are the different steps of institutional development plan? There are about 6 main steps. Main steps are there. Institutional development planning is a systematic process aimed at enhancing the overall effectiveness and efficiency of an organization or institution. It is not meant only for one. It's the holistic improvement. The specific steps involved in the developing an institutional development plan may vary depending on the context and the nature of the institution. Means all the institution, irrespective of the things, it is not that. Means which department, which education institution, what type of educational institutions are there. So depends upon that one. Means it is not an unique, it is not one and the same for everybody. It will be there. But these are on these 6 steps, it has to be made it. The framework is given. The first step is, that is assessment and analysis. We'll see that each one, what is meant by assessment and analysis. Then vision and mission for formulation. We have to have our vision and mission. And the goal setting. What is our goal? What is our main important vision of that one? And how to reach to the vision? What are the things we have to do? The pathways are there. Then what are the action planning we have to do for that? Resource allocation and the capacity building. How to make it that. Then we have monitoring and evaluation. These 5 are the second part of the steps which is required. Means the finance part, and we have to have a continuous evaluation and the feedback and adaptation. Sometimes we may get the feedback, not what we have imagined or what we have thought for that. So we have to get that one, adapt and remake to that one. Communication and documentation, implementation, then afterwards the review and update. Now the first step is what we meant as an assessment and analysis. Meaning, conduct a comprehensive assessment of the current state of the institution at present. What is my institution condition? To understand that one, we had to use SWOT analysis. Then we will understand the present condition of our institution. Now, SWOT analysis means to find out our strength, our weakness, what are our opportunities, and what is our threat for that one. Identify the key challenges and areas for improvement. When we understand our strength, we can make use of that one. If we know what is our weakness, we have to solve that weakness and make that area into a strength. We have to strengthen that area. And what will be our opportunities and what is our threat? Understanding that one will enhance our development. Then we have the stakeholders engagement of that one. Now, who are our stakeholders? That can be our own staff members, our management, board members, beneficiaries, and the external partners. Gather their input and perspectives to ensure a holistic understanding of the institution needs and aspiration. Meaning, we have to get this SWOT analysis from all the stakeholders. To our viewpoint, one place will be one thing, but in the other place, to other person, some other will be. So from everybody, we have to find it out, the SWOT analysis, and come that will make us understand our present situation. Then what is our vision and mission? How to formulate our vision and mission? Define or revisit the institution's mission and vision statements. Find it out. What is our that one? Ensure alignment with the organization's core values and strategic objectives. Along with that vision and mission, we have to include our values, our objectives into that. Define our vision and mission, and which will enhance to bring to our institution into a progressive one, which will help us for our goal settings. If we establish our clear and measurable goals that support the institution's mission and vision, that will prioritize goals based on their importance and relevance to the institution's development. So our vision and mission, first we have to formulate, then we have to go back and understand the goal setting of that one, which will enhance our development, educational development, that will help us for the educational development planning. Now, action planning. Only writing and keeping in the paper, that will not sufficient. We have to have a action planning. Develop specific action plans for achieving each identified goals. Break down the goals into smaller, manageable tasks. Assign responsibilities and timeline for implementation. Action plan is there. Everything cannot be done by one person. It has to be made it into smaller one, and allocate to the people who are all have the potentiality of handling that sort of thing. So assign to them with the timeline that will enhance, that will help us for quick action. We have to complete that one. Then resource allocation. Access the resources like financial, human, technological, different resources are there. How to allocate them, how to assess them, and required for plan implementation. And that has to be made it for our implementation of our action plan. Develop a budget that aligns with the action plans. We have to make a budget for that. How much it will cost? How much we have to spend for each resources, for each things to get it done. For all that one, we have to have a proper budgeting. It can be plus and minus, but approximate budgeting has to be done it properly, systematically. Now we have the capacity building. Identify skill gaps and training needs with that institution. Somewhere we are not telling that all sort of things will be there. There will be some lack of things in the institution, some lacking in the management, lacking in the planning. So find it out, that gaps, and that will help us to make it more training, and that has to be made it for the implementing purposes. Implement capacity building programs to enhance the skills and knowledge of the staff and stakeholders. Each one's capacity has to be acknowledged to understand that one. And that person, we have to allocate that sort of things, that responsibility to that person, which will make more interesting for them, and they will do it very beautifully. So each one's capacity has to be understood properly and allocate that workload to the each person's their capacity, as per their capacity, as per their interest, so that this work can be done it properly. Then the monitoring and evaluation, meaning our finance, we have to evaluate and give to them monitoring and evaluation system to track progress. Who will be able to do that evaluation process? A higher person. So every time monitor, the principal, the head of the institution, the management, they can find it out and enhance them for evaluate them. I mean, every time we cannot, okay, I am given this process, this responsibility to X or to Y, and we sleep on that one. We have to monitor how far they have reached. Is there any difficulty for them to bring out the result from them? So every time we are doing how much work you have done it, evaluate their work, and that will help us to finish our development program as quickly as possible. Define the key performance indicators for each goal and regularly assess achievements. Now, when we say that the performance indicators, when we are talking about the NAC and all, there are about seven criterias are there. In 7 criterias, there are different criterias are there. Key indicators are there. So like that, what are the key indicators? How much they have to do it? What they have to do it? We have to monitor them and evaluate. Then we have the institutional development plan. Something at least 1 minute. Okay. Now here there is a one where we can see this institutional development plan. If you can note down this one, you can find it out from the net, from the how it has been done. That's a Presidency University that made it a very beautiful institutional development plan. I cannot show fully into as a slide to here. So this, if you can note it down, you can go in the net, Google, and you can find it out. There are two very beautiful. I have seen so many are there, but these are the 2 where we can be used for our institutions. That is one is about the Presidency University, and another one where is the Department of Higher Education, Government of Madhya Pradesh. For these two things, you can go through and you can find it out. Now, we have to get it, what is the feedback and adaptation. That collect the feedback from the stakeholders. We have different stakeholders are there. Now, get it the feedback from the stakeholders. And now, how will you be getting the feedback? When they do the SWOT analysis, you will get it. You will understand. They will also understand. That will make us to understand more about our institutions, and that stakeholders and their participants throughout the implementation. All the stakeholders should be there with us together and use the feedback to make necessary adjustments to the plan and improving ongoing activities. Their suggestions, their remarks will enhance for our improvement. So we have to, we should have a teamwork. We have the cooperation of all the stakeholders for our development planning. Then the communication and documentation. Communicate the institutional development plan to all the stakeholders. What we are going to do, how much we are done it, that communication has to be made it. It's not at the end of that one, but every time meet, and we can communicate to them, document the plan, including goals, action plans, monitoring, evaluation, results, and all this has to be made it. Now, if we say that in summary, what is the institutional development is the multifaceted process that aims to enhance the functioning of institutions in society. When we take in the academic, there are two things. One is academic and one is the achievement, what the practical things. By focusing on the areas such as capacity building, governance, policy development, inclusivity, efforts can be made to create stronger, more resilient, and more responsive institutions that contribute to the overall well-being of a community of nation. An important outcome of institutional planning is the establishment of a better rapport with the community. It aims at school improvement, institutional improvement, as well as school development in the form of basis of district plan for educational development and improvement. It is continuously developing. It is not stopping in one part of that one, but it is a continuous process. Now, here is a sample, specified, simplified and generic sample outline. It's an only outline. How we can go for a institutional development plan. Keeping in mind, very important, that we should be tailored it to the specific needs, goals, and characteristics of our one institution. Based on that institution, what type of institution now they are going for the institutional development. Now, based on that institution, these are the headings. These are the things where we have to put our effort for the institutional development. The first one is the executive summary. Now, in the executive summary, what are the things we have to see? Overview of the institution, the current situation of the institution, brief summary of the key goals and the priorities, vision and mission statement. We have to find it. Now, these three things we have to make it specific. So the first part of our development plan is that one, to find it out, the executive summary of that institution. That is present scenario of that institution, overview of the institution, holistic view of the institution, and the brief summary. What is our key goals? What is our specific goals for that? And what are our priorities to that one? And what is our vision and mission? So based on that, the next will be there. That's situation analysis. To find it out, the present scenario or the present situation of that institution, we said it that SWOT analysis will help us to get it that one. That is strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. And the stakeholders responsibility is also there. We have to include all the stakeholders, internal stakeholders, and also as well as the external stakeholders. Internal means our staff, management, board of directors, all that will come as an internal of the internal stakeholders. External means if we have the institution is running by a partners, so their partners and who are all benefiting from this institution, all the beneficiaries and the community. The third part, that is the vision and mission and the values. What is our mission statement? That will be the first one. And the mission will be how to reach to that vision. Which are the ways, which are the path, which are the ways to reach to that vision. And along with that, we have to make our core values also. The values are very important when we frame our vision and mission. We have to incorporate the values of that institution, values of the community, so that the people will continue with that values. The fourth one is the strategic goals and objectives. Goal number 1, that is enhance organizational effectiveness. How that institution will have effectiveness, how we can enhance our institutional effectiveness. Now for that, the objective one, the first one will be improve internal communication. Lack of communication leads for different problems. Sometimes even in all the institutions are there, the principal will not communicate to all the staff properly, to one person only, or one teacher will communicate to their friends only. So the communication, lack of communication create problems. So first we have to have a proper way of communicating to all the people in that institution. Then streamline operational process. How to make it that operational process. So that has to be made it very clear. Goal number 2 is, that is innovative and learning process. Foster innovation and learning. Now to have that one, there will be two things. That is implement staff training and development programs. We should have a proper qualified trained staff for that institution. And not only that one, we have to develop programs. Every time we have to make them, train them, update their knowledge, and that will enhance our development. Then the second part, that one, encourage a culture of creativity and innovation. It's not only tradition. Now everything is going to become a different ways only. Everybody will have a creativity way of doing. People like that one. Even our methodology is going to change. It's already changed. That is, now everything can be done through the creativity, and new innovative methods are used in our communication, in our methodology. The goal number 3 is strengthen external partnership. To identify that, engage strategic partners, not altu-faltu partners. We have to have a very strong understanding management, people who will be more motivated for the development of the institution. So we have to engage strategic partners and enhance collaboration and community stakeholders. We have to collaborate with the community stakeholders. So these are the 3 parts in that. The 5th one is the action plan. Now what we will be able to do that. That is the goal 1 action plan. The first task is develop a communication strategy. We said that communication is very important. So communication, how we are going to communicate, is not that every time the principal will call all the 10 faculty members together. So how will can be? It is a waste of time. So now the channelizing the communication to the people, how that will be enhanced, the development or develop the strategy planning. Then implement regular team building activities together. Team building is very important. We have the cooperation of all the stakeholders. How to bring them together. Brainstorming has to be done. So that will enhance. Goal number 2 is the action plan. How will you put the action into that? That is, conduct a skill gap analysis where we are having leukemia, where we have a gap in our skills. So we have to make that and conduct a skills gap analysis for that. Then the second one is establish an innovation task force. We have to have establish that one wherein we can have innovative things, creativity in that one. Then the goal number 3 is the in action plan, conduct partnership mapping. To have a mapping process, partnership, not mine. It has to be made it together. Who are the stakeholders? Everybody has to be together. Joint community events together. All the events has to be made it together. Jointly have the communication. Then the 6th one is that step 6, resource allocation. Very important. Okay, how we will allocate? How much money has to be given for one part of that one? That is financial resources. Financial. How much money can be spent for developing or developing a garden, developing a library, or developing laboratories? Then human resources. How many teachers are required? Skilled teachers, trained teachers, and the technological resources. What are the things is required for the technology which will enhance the education system of that institution? 7th one is, we said it, that monitoring and evaluation. In that, the first 3 aspects are the key performance indicators. And evaluation, what sort of evaluation metrics are being used, and reporting schedule. How, after using that metrics, how a person can be able to report. That schedule has to be made it properly. So the key performance indicators are very important. Evaluation metrics are important, and reporting also has to be made it properly. Then the 8th step is that one, capacity building. Now, what is that one? Under that, there are 3 important. That is, training needs analysis. What type of training is required? Frequent training has to be made. It is not that yearly or that one. Every 6 months, every 3 months, the training has to be given to the staff. Then the staff development programs. There are different types of, like what we are doing is staff development programs. Like that, each institution has to be made it. If all the institutions become our client, then easy for them. We can train them as per their requirement. Then the knowledge sharing in initiatives. Who can able to give certain things? We have to find it out, the trained people who can train the people and can change their what you call understanding, or they can bring from the lower to the higher way. Then the 9th one is the communication and documentation. There are 3 things: the internal communication plan, external communication plan, and documenting progress and success stories. All these things has to be made. This means everywhere there should be a systematic way of doing it. It's not only within a day we can do it. It has to be need a proper timing, strategies, planning. What are the things? Who will be taking care of that? Allocation is important. So internal communication plan. Everybody has to be, the teacher will report to the supervisor. Supervisor will report to the principal. Principal will report to the management, like that. So then external communication, the parents, the partners, the other people, beneficiaries. So all that people, how they will be communicating, to whom they will be communicating. Then after getting all that one, that documenting, that has to be made it properly, and that will lead for the success. Then the 10th one is the implementation timeline. We cannot say that if you put it like that only, never. There should be a time limit. You have to produce the report by Monday. You give a time for that so that they will work. Okay, you give me only a report. They will sleep upon that and they will bring it as and when they are free. So the time limit is very important. So implementation of timeline, phased implementation schedule, and milestone and deliverable. Means you have to make it that one. What has to be made in two ways? One is the implementation schedule and another one is the milestone and the deliverables thing. The 11th step, that is review and update mechanism. We made it the SWOT analysis, we made it our vision and mission, we made it the allocations, we made it the communication properly, all the things we got it. And we made it the documentation of that one. And regular. Now one type is over. So we came to know that, okay, here there was a lapse, here there was lacking, we made it that one. It is not ending there. It has to be reviewed and updated. How we will be reviewing every time, once in 2 years or once in 3 years or once in 6. It's not like that. It should be a regular review meetings. Okay, what you have done it. Last week, what we have done it. Last month, what we have done it. So there should be a regular meetings with the members. All responsible stakeholders, principals, management, staff members, everybody has to be there. Then periodic plan updates. Every time new things has to be made it. It cannot be with the old one only we are doing. New things has to be made it. Adaptation to changing needs. Every time. Previously people were going for only for commerce. Then they started going for science. Now people are going for different things. There are different professional learnings are there. So what is that changing needs of the people? We have to adopt that one. Then last one is the conclusion. Recap of the key priorities, commitment to the institutional development. Now, we as a customers, we feel free to customize the headings. Now we are telling these are the outline framework for a development program. But if we feel that no, this has to be incorporated, this has to be made it, this has to be deleted, it is depend upon our objectives, our goals, based on our institution's context and requirements. This template is starting point, means with this, everybody can start doing the development programs of our own institute, and which will help us the unique characteristics and goals of our organization, which will help us to do that one. Again, this has come there, it has made it a double time. Please, that one. There ends my presentation. I hope everybody got it, how the development program can be made it. Now, this is my email ID and telephone number. If you have any queries or any problem, you can contact me. Be free to contact and get it. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your very informative resource shared with all of us. I hope I'm on Dr. Subhashini from Avinashilingam University. Ma'am, I hope this will be very useful to the institution builders. Ma'am, my humble question to to both of you speakers is one, we were talking about the preparedness of the Indian institutions and all the stakeholders. And the one thing it wonders in my mind is, are the teachers ready for such changes? Number one. Number two, the transfer of credits. If my sister concern is not accepting NEP or following it, how will the students do the transfer when going to one institution to the other to attend a better course and coming back? This has not happened still, ma'am. But many institutions have adopted the syllabi of the NEP. And that is, I feel the syllabus is little not very concentrated one, but a skill oriented one with a lot of practicals and inbuilt practicals with theoretical, which is very appreciable. So my humble question to both of you is on those two aspects. And thank you for the opportunity, ma'am.
Dr. Sripati, I will answer first, then ma'am will answer. My madam will answer afterwards.
Yes, ma'am.
Here there is a one institution where they started in Kerala, in near to my this one. It's a small school. Okay. There, if you study up to 4th standard, they give the certificate. They completed the 4th standard. Now that person can go to another school and can join from 5th standard onwards. Now, if the person is not able to cope up there, they can come back to that school and can join for that another school. Ma'am already said it, that one integrated course. Now, if the 4 years integrated course is there is a one university at Kumbakonam, Sastra University. There also they introduced this integrated course. There they used to give 1 year they studied with an English option, and they say that I'm not able to cope up with that one. I wanted to go for social science. Now that child can move from one method to another option and can study there. So if the person is completed 1 year course, they'll give one certificate and saying that this person has completed 1 year. And after 1 year, if that becomes okay, they can join with the same one with the second year. So that type of option is given in the is given, you know, in NEP 2020 has come, but in Kumbakonam, they already started giving that one.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I worked there, I know very much. There are people who discontinued after 2 years of integrated course, but again they are coming back, can join for the 3rd year. So that facility, but nowadays it was not that. If you have a degree course of 3 years, if I complete the 1st year and I cannot go and join for the 2nd year. But this NEP 2020 has suggested that sort of thing. The people can learn, they can continue that learning afterwards also. So they studied for 1 year, some certificate is given, which that becomes a document evidence that it completed. With that, they can continue for the next courses. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
are very nice examples of institutions. Already they have started implementing them. On a larger scale, it should happen. The institutions, councils, academic council has to pass this, that they can go out another institution. I don't know whether it happened. This is the last 1 year. Maybe it's very heartwarming that institution, Sastra University, has taken up that. Thank you so much for the inputs, ma'am.
Are you from the field of medicine?
No, ma'am, I'm an academic. I'm a professor of chemistry.
Okay. No, because, from the field of medicine, dentistry and all, things we need to be worked out still. This is purely for higher education when we look at our core undergraduate courses. Then engineering, technology, management. These are covered under this NEP, whatever we spoke about today.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So they have not made it this one. They have not included probably medicine and dentistry and those allied health fields like physiotherapy, pharmacy. Now, probably they have their independent associations and they will do it keeping in mind NEP.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Shripati. Any questions? Everybody's hands are coming out. I think there is no questions. Everybody, either they understood everything or they did not understand anything. There are two ways. Somebody has said Nat 30. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Zakir Hussain, thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Zakir Hussain, our previous president's name.
Thank you.
Yes, madam. Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your involvement in educating all of us in these aspects.
Thank
You've
you
taken
so
a
much.
lot of your time and efforts. Thank you very much, ma'am, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Soudamini Menon, ma'am, and Ambujam V. Iyer, ma'am. We immensely happy to have listened to your very informative session. And dear participants, we would like to thank every one of your patients listening and active participation for one-day workshop successful. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am. Iyer,
Thank
madam.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So can we leave that platform?